Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the astrology and do an oracle reading for you on for the week of April 10th through the 17th. How are you all doing? This is actually being recorded on Wednesday. And to be honest with you all, I totally forgot to go live today because I've been working on my taxes and realized, oh my gosh, I made an error in judgment in how much I paid last year in advance. So I was just in shock, like, oh my gosh, I owe so much in taxes. So yeah, what a great way to start off this time right after this amazing new moon in Aries. Wowzers. But one thing I'll tell y'all is I love astrology so, so much for all the new people who are here. I love astrology because it helps to keep me calm. And I didn't need astrology to know more than likely I was going to be shocked because I know what I did and didn't do last year in terms of bookkeeping. But what I will say is I know that I'm in a phase in my astrology where there is, to a certain degree, like a maturity, a maturation that's happening, and Jupiter moving into Gemini. I already know that there's going to be something around me in taxes. Ooh, even with Mercury retrograde, Mercury rules my house that has to do with taxes, and Mercury is retrograde. And so I hadn't even thought about that because I'm just really still in the shock moment of it all. And then there's also some other indications in my astrology that I've been looking at that helps me to realize, this is really an opportunity. Initially, it did not feel like an opportunity. I'm sure I'm going to have my moments where it doesn't feel like an opportunity, but it helps me to see this more as an opportunity for growth and learning so that this never happens again. So I just want to say that because, yeah, astrology gives. And also, I'd like for y'all to see, those of us who know astrology, we still have to live it. There's no magic elixir. So, yeah, I want to talk to you all about the April, the astrology for the week. And what I want us all to know is we're still in eclipse energy. We just had the eclipse, 2 days ago. This was a very powerful eclipse. For those of us in the United States, it, was visible in our country. For those in Mexico, Canada, so the Americas, there's big changes coming to this part of the world. And but we're still floating in that energy. I encourage you to continue to think about what is it that you would like to manifest, call into your life. And Mercury retrograde is giving a lot of us some insight as to perhaps what we need to focus on moving forward. Now, I said I was going to create a post, but I'm just going to go on ahead and ask you all here: are you keeping up with what Mercury retrograde is about for you? Are you paying attention to the signs, the lessons that are coming through, and the work that you're being asked to do, revise, revisit? Maybe some of you all need to rest a little bit more. That is rejuvenation. That it's re. Re is like we gotta like get something up again, right? Do it again. So yeah, let's go on ahead and make sure that we are honoring Mercury retrograde and maximizing its energy. And I will link a video to this one actually. Yeah, I'll link a video that will help you to understand some of the things that I've said about Mercury retrograde. So looking at our calendar, you can see we have Mars conjunct Saturn, which is a really big deal, to be honest with you all. Mars is a planet of action, and it has to do with new beginnings, and a conjunction is about new beginnings. So it's like this was one of the things about the new moon that I was saying. This is bringing even more new beginnings energy. And so, take action, new beginnings. It's about passion and um, just really this energy of vibrancy to a large extent, innovation. So that's what Mars is about. Now, Mars is to a large extent, the kind of planet that just will be impulsive. So that is something that kind of conflicts and clashes with Saturn, which is a planet that has to do with what's the plan. And, we need to make sure that we're slow, methodical, we get this thing taken care of. It is about taking a tried and true path. Okay. But Saturn is all about you need to do the work. You need to get the work done. And there are no shortcuts with Saturn. Saturn is a type of planet, it's mature. Mars is more of like youthful and Saturn is more of the elder. So we have like the young person meeting with the old elder who is just like, baby, I'm not getting upset about what you're getting upset about. I done already lived that part of my life and I already know I'm not gonna be upset. You can be upset, I'm not gonna be upset, right? And so Saturn is always kind of like tone it down. Let's just take the tried and true path. And it's also this energy of karma. So there's definitely some unlocking of karma that I think because Mars is breakthrough energy. You want to break through, you can break through some type of karma that you have been living out. Maybe it all of a sudden pops up. Maybe you're at a new stage of it, but definitely we can be getting breakthroughs around karma. And I'll be 100. Sometimes it's the start of something karmic. And baby, the two of those being in Pisces, it could definitely be the start of a karmic experience. I don't necessarily know if it's relationship or whatever, but I just encourage you to take note of anything that seems like, man, this feels karmic, or maybe you need a karmic killing since it's in the sign of Pisces. So we have these two planets. And what I find fascinating is Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of success. I see actually Mars and Saturn as planets of success. The kicker is that they are called the malefic planets. And that means that when we deal with these planets, they can be super harsh. So for instance, um, Mars sometimes creates pain. I'll tell people when I'm looking at their chart, Mars is going to be in a place where potentially if you can experience pain and if you do, you really need to manage it. This is something that you're going to have to just deal with for as long as Mars is right there. Mars moves pretty quickly. It might be for about a week, 2 weeks, but without fail, Mars can help to bring pain. Saturn is here's a funny. Saturn is the planet of, we could say sobriety, of get real. And so, it can create that effect, like, there's no Pisces is like we're floating in the clouds, we're lying to ourselves, but Saturn is like, "Oh, baby, what you getting ready to do is you getting ready to have a reality check." And who had a reality check today about taxes? This lady. Mars is even actually connected to taxes because Mars rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is a sign of taxes. So some of us having some tax awakenings. I'm not gonna be the only one. I'm just, baby, get real about taxes. All right. So yeah, but what I love about this, what I was saying is they're both planets of success because Mars is drive, Mars is courageous, it's fearless, it's willing to take risks. Mars is gonna do the dang thing. The issue with Mars is like a sprinter. Mars is gonna sprint out and then it's gonna have to rest and relax. A lot of people who are Aries, you will find that they're sprinters and a lot of times they will get bored. They don't wanna hang, or, hang around and do the same thing, and it just gets boring to them. They like, new beginnings, action, scenery change, right? But that's the beauty of Aries because Saturn is the kind of planet that's like, I'm not taking one step until I know exactly the full path forward. And we've got to plan it all out. We've got to, do the project management, put it all up on the wall, map it all out. And so them coming together is a good thing because Mars is actually what is called exalted in Capricorn, which again is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn, Saturn, these are planets of success because they are very much about um, having a plan and seeing it through to the end. So where Mars won't see it through to the end, Saturn will. And so these two coming together, it's like it gives you that courage to go on ahead and do something. But you have to have a plan and you have to have strategy. Mars is strategy, Saturn is plan. You have to have a plan, you have to have a strategy. And so this Saturn part is going to carry this plan out through the end. It is very powerful manifesting energy. The key is that it's what sign are they meeting in? Well, they're meeting in Pisces. As flaky as Pisces can be, and I say that as a Pisces, I don't say it to disrespect Pisces, but Pisces can be somewhat flaky because, we're emotional, we feel everything, we get lost in the clouds, we want to escape if things get too heated or whatever. But Pisces is actually a sign that can have a lot of success because it has fire houses on the houses that have to do with money and career. It has fire signs, okay, on those houses. And so I do think that this can bring a lot of success, but it's success that's created from the inside out. Pisces is the inner world, it's the inner landscape. It's success that is achieved through spirituality, through creativity. And Mars and Pisces combined together can be very inventive. And because Pisces is the imagination and Mars is highly creative energy. It's a planet that's associated with spring. And so it's creating from the inside out. It's seeing what's in, the inner world, in your imagination. And Saturn is what's going to help to bring it out into fruition. So success through creativity, but it's tapping into the creative energy within. And then Saturn gives us like the structure because Pisces lacks structure. So Saturn is bringing the structure and Saturn is bringing the plan along with the strategy of Mars. And and also it's about having a more relaxed way of achieving. We've just been so go, 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 like hustle culture is what we say in the online business world. Oh, it's just so much hustle culture. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Right. But this is more of like, you're gonna work hard because Saturn is like, oh, you're gonna work hard, but we're gonna work hard in a relaxed way because we are tapped in and tuned in and recognizing that we co-create our reality with the universe. So it definitely is a new beginnings around a new way of achieving success, new beginnings around a new way of operating in terms of just how we're showing up in the world. And it's not necessarily success in career. We want success in life. Most people want to be successful in life in general. And so it could be success in terms of your health and wellness or whatever this Pisces represents for you. And you can even think about it. Where do you not feel successful and you want more success? Then this can help you in that area of your life. And so Pisces is also healing. And so I think it could bring about some new beginnings regarding healing. And Pisces is actually related to mental illness, drug addiction, or addictions of all sorts. And so it could be that there's something new coming in terms of healing people who are dealing with those conditions, those diseases. And yeah, I love that. I love that thought. Oh, also, Pisces is pharmacology. There's a part of me that hopes, this actually could be really good for the pharmaceutical industry and for anyone in it. I respect that that's what you're doing. I think pharmaceuticals have a place, but the actual industry itself is evil. And I would love for them to be held accountable and have just do things better. In the United States, I know the current president, Biden, is working on lowering the cost of certain drug prescriptions, at least I think for people on Medicare. I don't know if it's applying for everyone, but the cost of prescription drugs in the United States is beyond ridiculous. And I kind of hope that this will play out in that way. It's I do think it's a conjunction of success. So who knows what it's going to do for the pharmaceutical industry. Let me see here. I will say Pluto in Aquarius, which is the other sign that Saturn rules, could be bringing we could see a nice transformation that is in favor of the people instead of the corporations. It could be a nice that could be nice for us. I like that. Um, so yeah, in that regard, potentially we definitely could be seeing it play in the favor of the average man and woman versus the pharmaceutical industry. And it's about the water, oceans, and I never really like predicting negative things, but when I don't, then they show up and it's just kind of like, well, I could have said it, but I didn't. I honestly believe this could bring something else happening in the natural world. I don't want to use the word natural disaster, but we'll say a major natural event could happen. And this is in particular with water, the ocean. And then, we have Neptune there. Oh my gosh, yes, that is a definite possibility. And, mm, so yeah, Pisces is, spirituality, so it could start off something new with spirituality. Again, I like Mars and Saturn, even though they are hard to deal with when you are dealing with one of their transits. I still like these planets because the way I describe it is they get me together. All right. Um, but I will say, it's again, Saturn is karma and Mars is like, who did what? I'm going to go up in there and they're gonna face their consequences. They're gonna have to fight me. So Pisces is a sign that has to do with religion. And so it could be I see it one or two ways. It could be that more and more religious abuse and, the bad part of religion is going to be exposed even more. Or it could be, something regarding religion. It's kind of hard for me to believe that we're headed in a direction of people becoming more religious. But every day I see people who are caught up with religious the other thing that I mentioned, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I do think that Pisces is a sign that has to do with cults. So, something around religion and cult could be coming through. I just believe that it probably will be it on the one hand, some people who are in religions and cults, even if they're not being exposed, they could, like, tighten their grip on people, or these cults are gonna get exposed. So that's really, really interesting. Jupiter is down here in Taurus. Um, it could even bring up more earth-based spirituality. So that's something else that we could be thinking about also. Um, so yeah, this is a conjunction. So what I always tell you all with conjunctions is it's important for us to set some intention. So we're still in this new moon eclipse energy. We have this conjunction that's happening today. And then you can see we have one that's happening tomorrow, the sun conjunct Mercury. Now, let me go back to Mars conjunct Saturn. This happens about once every 2 years. But the kicker is whatever it is that this conjunction kicks into gear for you, you'll see it happen out over 2 years. So I encourage you to set intentions so that you can give the astrology somewhere to channel into, okay? Now, this is what I call a rare conjunction, and so because it doesn't happen all the time. It's not super rare, but the Sun conjunct Mercury, this happens a couple of times a year. Um, a few times a year, actually. Whereas Mars conjunct Saturn is going to be once every 2 years. So we're going to be on a 2 year cycle. And Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces, that's what really is rare because Saturn only stays in a sign for about 2 years. So this, I think, is the first time that Mars has conjuncted Saturn in Pisces. And so it probably won't happen again um, for 30 years because Saturn is in each sign once about every 30 years. So, wow, that's something to think about. I need to just double check. Okay. So, yeah, Mars, the next time Mars gets back to Saturn is going to be in 2026, and Saturn will be in Aries. So, this is auspicious. This is very auspicious. This is really setting something off for a 30-year period. Wowzers. Okay. So, Sun conjunct Mercury is something about new beginnings regarding the mind. It's kind of like getting our ideas. Like maybe we need to get back on track with our ideas. Mercury is actually a sign that has to do with to-do list and like what are the steps. And so we can always be reminded of the steps with that. And of course, this is Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. So I believe that it can give us some insight. The sun is very wise, it's creative, it's natural genius type energy. So I think that it'll give us some ideas around whatever the new beginnings that we have. I mentioned me and taxes. This has come up for me. Another thing that has come up for me is um, I finally feel resolved around my lifestyle that's gonna lead to me losing weight at will. I'll say it that way. 'Cause it's not just about losing the weight at this point. It truly is about, am I living a healthy life? I'm in my 50s, y'all. Come on. I gotta stay healthy, all right? Healthy. And I have to do that now if I want to have a healthy lifestyle down the road. And so, yeah, I overwork. That is my number one issue. And so I feel a resolution around that. And so the Sun conjunct Mercury could give me some divine downloads around money, around taxes, some divine, I'm going to be maturing myself when it comes to handling the books for my business. And then um, I can get a divine download around the path forward, the steps, or just the inspiration because the sun is very inspiring. So it's like more inspiration around lifestyle. All right. So these are the kinds of things. And again, it's a new beginning, but this one is re-beginning something. So if there's something that you have stopped and you need to start it up again, this is definitely a conjunction to set intentions around getting that thing going again. What have you stalled on? Mercury's in Aries, it's a breakthrough energy. Again, Mars conjunct Saturn, there's some breakthrough that is imminent for us this week. Very interesting that we don't have anything else going. And you all know, I always say, thankfully, we don't need anything else. All right. We just had this major solar eclipse. We need to integrate that. So this is definitely a week of new beginnings energy, but also you want to take that time to allow the eclipse energy to integrate. I don't need to know all the details. I just don't. My thing is, can I just be present to the energy? Can I slow myself down enough in my life to allow the energy to set in my spirit, and then I'm gonna follow it. It's gonna unfold over time. I mean, even think about Mars conjunct Saturn. That's gonna unfold over time. And so we need this time to let the energy integrate. They're meeting in Pisces, and Pisces is about mindfulness and um, hypnosis and um, meditation. Sleep. Maybe we're gonna have some breakthroughs with sleep. People need more sleep. How do we get people to sleep more? Sleeping is healing. Number one thing that you should do if you're not well, go to bed. That's what we need the message to be. I hope that's something that comes out from this. But it's definitely about this energy of being quiet and being at one with the universe, because that's Pisces. Pisces is just about the oneness, right? So that's what I want us to do this week is to take that time to be quiet and let this energy integrate in our bodies. Okay, so I would like to pull a card for this week. What is the energy guiding us? Guiding us for the next week. Oh, that's interesting. I pulled let me take this down. I pulled the maiden card and look at what she has to do with passion. That's interesting because she's a sea maiden and that's Pisces. Passion, that's Aries. So, I'm excited. Let's see what the sea maiden has to say. It says the powerful and abundant heart flow of the maiden of seas is sourced in the water of her feelings, totally energized with emotional passion. She holds the passion flower above her in tribute to her exuberant vitality. She is ecstatic with sexual energy and emotional fertility, all within healthy boundaries. The sea maiden's full creative flow of passion is yours to experience. So that sentence right there is definitely related to Mars conjunct Saturn. Full creative flow of passion. That's what we want to be connected to. You are here to let your ecstatic heart energy regenerate your emotions and the world. That energy within you will regenerate, rejuvenate, revive you. Your passion is the key to let the dormant feelings rise from your core into vitality, creating the life that you long for and deserve. So, definitely this week, take time to connect with what's your passion. Is very important because your passion will keep you going when, you know, like Saturn is kind of like we just got to stick with the plan. Doesn't matter if it's fun or not. Got to stick with it. But when you stay connected to your passion, you're willing to see the plan to the end, even on the days when it's not super fun. This is from my African Goddess Rising deck. That's interesting. So the first one was from my Mythical Goddess Tarot deck, and this is from the African Goddess Rising deck. And this is she's been speaking a lot here lately. Sekhmet, the wounded healer. So we talked about how Pisces is definitely healing. So it could be setting off some healing energy. So over this next week, Sekhmet speaks. She is the fierce ancient Egyptian goddess of war, the sun, and healing. She carries life force in her palm with the power to create or destroy. And she says, heal thyself. Everyone gets your best except you. You are a healer among your tribe. Stop putting your needs last. When did you decide to become a martyr? Now, that's a good question. Pisces is a martyr sign to a certain degree. We're not going to be martyrs this week, y'all. Take a breath. Wounded healers hold sadness, rage, and fears of brokenness. Being a warrior wasn't a choice for our beloved foremothers. They did the best they could, but being a goddess warrior for us is knowing that we have the choice not to fight all the time. And that's something I've been talking about this week is what are we stepping into? We're stepping into being a feminine warrior, goddess warrior, okay? We don't need to fight all the time. Deep dive questions are these. What are your swords, the weapons you use to fight? And what are your shields, the ways you defend yourself? Dare to lay the burdens down along with your swords and shields. So here's the goddess declaration for this next week. It's safe to put myself first. All right. I want to hear from you. How are you putting yourself first this week? Let a sister know. Drop a comment. All right. Also, thank you all so much. You can see at the bottom of the video, I am having my next new moon retreat in Taurus on May 2nd. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I would love to have you attend. And also, if you would, please like the video and drop a heart that represents the energy that you picked up from this reading. I would say the heart that I would choose would probably be light blue just because of Pisces and the ocean. So yeah, for me, a light blue heart is what I would drop. And the reason I'm asking you to drop this heart is I want this heart to be connected to or be a reminder. It's like an anchor, a way that you're anchoring this wisdom in you to remember to carry this wisdom with you throughout the week. Thank you all so much. Please like the video, share it. It helps the health of the channel, and it also helps to make sure that other people get to hear these kinds of readings that will help them in their own lives. I appreciate you being a part of the goddess movement. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Peace and love.